2011, a good season for the Warriors, although they lose to the Springers in both meetings. 2012, Highland Springs is finally conquered, and Henrico makes it to the state semifinals. 2013, a season to remember. With the domination of John Marshall, the Warriors become Virginia state champs.
That's all heart right there, and that's what helped get us a championship.
The next year, they nearly repeat, but Potomac is too much in the state finals. And now, the 2014-2015 season, a 28-1 record, and another state championship. The team that once couldn't get past their cross-county rival is now constructing a dynasty.
Webster's Dictionary defines a dynasty as a family or team that is very powerful or successful for a long period of time. The 2014-2015 Henrico Warriors, well, they truly fit the description. Fresh off 3 straight state playoff appearances, 2 straight title games, and only 2 seasons removed from their first state championship, Henrico was ready for another epic run. But even before the season would begin, the Warriors already faced a very unique challenge.
2014-2015 school year, Henrico High is getting a facelift. And that means certain buildings were temporarily out of commission, including Henrico's gym.
When they told us we couldn't practice in our gym or they kept pushing the date back.
Well, Coach, it's going to be October the 15th.
Saying we were going to be in our gym, we just left it alone.
And it's going to be November the 1st.
I just decided that we was going to be a strong team and practice where we're going to practice.
And then it's going to be fill in the blank. And to which my response was, now you did mean October 15th of 2014, correct?
Their athletic director, Mr. Jeremiah, he reached out to us and explained the situation similar about their gym being under construction. It wasn't going to be ready for the season, and they needed somewhere to practice. And I know those guys over at Henrico, they work year-round. And over the summer, Coach Harmon, he used our gym before to do one of his basketball camps for Henrico. And when I knew they didn't have a place to practice and the facility was open, I wanted to help those guys out any way I could.
Okay, now we have a reason to be great. We shouldn't use this as we don't have our gym, so we can't play Henrico basketball. No, that just made us play Henrico basketball 2 times better.
Coach Hargrove came through. Henrico had a place to practice. And Wilder wasn't the only school to generously open their doors.
Virginia Randolph was kind enough to reach out to us and allowed us to come over there. And I think it benefited, particularly early in the season, when we could have gone through a lot more struggles. We minimized that thanks to their helping hand. And for that, we're very grateful.
Of course, practicing one day in one gym and one day at another would have its unique challenges.
You know, one day the shoes have grip, and then the next day when you're on the rubber floors, your shoes don't exactly grip the same way.
Virginia Randolph, it was kind of the same deal. You had double rims, so I think that actually helped us as shooters. That period where coaches were allowed to come see us, they didn't know where to come either. You had to, text them right before and let them know right after school what location you'd be at.
It was crazy. I can remember one night coming back from one of our basketball games here at Wilder, one of my girls' basketball games, and I come in and Henrico's in here practicing, and I see a row full of guys just sitting up here just watching. And I'm like, who are these guys? And come to find out they were all college coaches in here just watching.
In the end, both Wilder and Virginia Randolph would play pivotal roles in the Warriors' march to another special season.
We're not above or we're not below practicing at other places. So whether it was Wilder Middle School or Radcliffe Elementary School or Laburnum or wherever it was, just give us baskets with 10-foot high baskets and 15-foot free throw lane, and we would go there and practice gladly.
Actually, it didn't matter where we practiced. As long as we had a court in basketball, we was going to find ways to work and get ready for our season.
It would soon be time for Henrico to hit the road. Henrico truly became the Road Warriors, going a perfect 16-0. Their only slip-up, a neutral court loss in a holiday tournament to defending 6A champion Colonial Ford.
Anybody can beat anybody, and if you don't bring your good game or your A game or play like you're capable of, you can get knocked off.
But other than one hiccup, Henrico exceeded expectations, and when they were finally ready to go home, they had a familiar foe in waiting.
We've had some great games with a lot of teams, but particularly our hats off, and there's so much respect that we have to our friends and our rivals down to the east, and that's Coach Lancaster and the Springers of Highland Springs. If we wanted to be at the top of the state or at the top of the region, that the road went 64 east through Highland Springs.
They were actually a good team this year, but we knew we were a better team, and we had to prove that to them.
And after forcing a turnover, this epic rivalry would come down to free throws. Game tied, 60-all.
When I went to that line, it was just me, the ball, and the basket. Poise, patience, just being comfortable, confident. I didn't let the crowd get to me. Marquise Johnson, one of the biggest leaders, vocal leaders on our team. He just came up to me, he said, this moment is perfect for you. This is what you play for. Second one went in, no rim. Touch my shoes, point up. During the game, after every bucket, point up, because I know without God or my dad, I wouldn't be in this position. So I just thank them for the blessings that they put in my life and the ones that they'll continue to do.
The win was a season sweep for the Warriors over their arch nemesis.
That's when we really knew we were a strong team coming back and beating Highland Springs in a type of game like that.
So the Warriors were ready to make yet another postseason run, but of course, the road was about to get much tougher. In fact, Henrico would need much more than talent and desire to make their state title dreams a reality. Actually, it started in the off-season when several unselfish and mature decision-making skills gave Henrico that extra edge. Personal triumph and key sacrifices next.
Time for the middle school game of the week. We go to Douglas Wilder taking on the Fairfield Falcons. Did you know that once upon a time it was the middle school game of the week where Monte Buckingham and the Fairfield Falcons squared off against Wilder and Walter Williams? Fairfield jumped out to a big commanding lead at the half, but in the end it was coast to coast. Walter Williams with the finish. It would prove to be the game winner as Wilder would go on to win the ball game and storm the court in a game that Coach Hargrove remembers all too well.
Well, that was probably one of the most mesmerizing games I've been a part of in my 15-plus years coaching. Walter, he was one of our players as an 8th grader that particular season. He was one of our leaders. He was one of our 3-year players here at Wilder. And Monte Buckingham, he was one of the studs for Fairfield. They were undefeated at that particular time. They went up on us real big at the half, and we got kind of down, and we came back and ended up winning the game. I'll tell you, Walter made a dynamic shot at the end of the game. Full court drive, made a layup to finish them off. It was a great experience for me and the guys.
Wilder takes the lead, 55-53, and that's how it would end as the court is stormed. As Henrico headed towards another playoff appearance, it was plain to see the talent on the floor. It was a star-studded cast led by double-digit scorer and rebounder Monte Buckingham. the uber athletic and ultra gritty Walter Williams. The sharpshooter from anywhere on the floor, Ryan Pearson. And the defensive specialist and guru, Marquise Johnson, returned. And they also added a new cog to the wheel. Fresh from Cosby, guard Gus Rowland.
Gus was a great addition for us because I didn't necessarily know Gus at first when he came over, but I think Monte knew him and Ryan knew him. So, I mean, I think we all knew that Gus, being over at Cosby and being one of their main guys, he had the same kind of hunger and passion that we had in trying to win it all. And since he hadn't really been in a program where he had been able to get as deep into the season, as deep into the tournament as we had, he was going to come in this season and just play his heart out.
It was actually real good because when I penetrate, I can kick it to Walt, I can kick it to Buck, I can kick it to anyone I could, and I know I trust them to knock it down either way.
But that meant players who used to start like Tristan Bazemore had to come in as a sub instead of a starter.
When Coach first told me that, I was, of course, a little disappointed, but after a while, you know, I was just thinking about it, and what I really wanted to do was win it all. So I knew that with this team, I'd be able to win it all. And even though I didn't start, I was still able to come in and play really great minutes and be able to do the things that I would normally do.
One motto that we have as a team is, you know, we over me. Coach Harmon even said it when I was coming in here. So I think that Tristan really just accepted his role off the bench as a sixth man.
Tristan Bazemore, again, IB student who has tremendous grade. One of the best shooters you'll ever run across. Willing to come off the bench and play a significant role of the microwave or instant offense. Not many people would do that, but he was willing to do it for, again, the betterment of the team.
Signing day at Henrico. A bittersweet feeling fills the air as teammates Ryan Pearson and Walter Williams sign their national letters of intent. Ryan Pearson to the Naval Academy. Walter Williams, a scholarship to Virginia State. One that is well earned.
Going to college for free. I really got emotional. It was just because I wish my dad was here to see this, but I know he's happy. This was all for him. I had to grow up quicker than most 8-year-olds at that time. Not everyone can take care of a younger sibling when they don't even know what life is.
He's in the room when his father has stricken with an asthma attack and actually gets taken away and he passes.
I didn't even know how to cook. I didn't clean up that much. So it was just like, I gotta grow up.
Walter has to go through that experience here when you're a young child, 7, 8, 9 years old, and then you have to witness that, and you've got a little brother, and then now you have to be the man of the house all of a sudden when you're not even 9 years old.
And I did what I had to do so me and my brother could be successful. And now that I'm actually grown, I'm still preaching to him whether he wants to listen or not on what to do. And we have a younger brother now. I have a baby brother. And you know, he's 4 months since Sunday. So I can't really say much to him, but when it gets to that point, I'll talk to him too.
I don't know how he did it, but he figured out that life is not fair and life's not all gonna deal you aces or whatever you want, and you've got to figure out a way to persevere and overcome. And then I think once he did that, everything else beyond that or after that just becomes similar to that life experience.
And as the playoffs began, Williams and the Warriors would more than persevere against their opponents. Even Timon Jones, younger brother of Timmy Jones, part of the first ever state championship team for Henrico, got into the act.
My brother, he talked me through it. Long nights, playing in the gym. He just helped me work out for this year coming up.
The result, a thorough thrashing of Hermitage and a chance for a conference tournament crown. Before the Warriors could dream of winning a tournament championship of any kind, they ran into a team finding their own stride. The Deep Run Wildcats, led by Coach Kassab, had just taken out Henrico's greatest rival, Highland Springs, and we're going to meet Henrico in the conference finals.
Coach Kassab at Deep Run does a tremendous job. I mean, he has a top-notch program. His players are very talented. The teams always execute. They do things that, when you look at a good team, check in every box for a good team.
That included controlling the tempo and making the Henrico Warriors play their game. The conference championship would be a battle.
That's a team that plays such a contrasting style from what we play. We tend to go up-tempo, and everything we do on defense is up-tempo. On offense, we don't, I wouldn't say that we rush, but certainly we like to play at a quicker pace.
But in the early going, it was Deep Run who controlled that factor.
It was very frustrating because we're so used to just running. So like when the team just slow it down like them, it's just like, come on, like pick it up.
That was a really, really important game, and how this was one of the defining moments in our season.
I think that they had a lot of confidence coming into their game. They came in with that matchup zone. It really worked effectively against Highland Springs, and it kind of gave us fits.
The game was tied at the half, and Deep Run would reclaim the lead early in the third quarter.
They're wearing us out. They're doing all the little things. They're doing things that if we want to win, that we better start doing better.
The Warriors would come back, thanks in no small part to some big plays by Marquise Johnson.
Marquise Johnson, who's a senior, who is one of the most unselfish kids you'll ever want to meet. Always takes the other team's best offensive player. Will do anything, dive on the floor, take a charge.
Henrico's defense would give the Warriors some much-needed energy and force the game into overtime.
I feel like both teams felt like their season was going to bring at that point, because going to overtime, that's the type of feeling you feel like this is like when to go home, and you get that feeling inside like you don't want to go home.
Fortunately for the Warriors, they made a few extra plays than the Wildcats in the extra session and took home their first piece of hardware along their journey.
With the win over Deep Run, Henrico got a much-needed victory and became battle-tested. Boy, would they need it, because an extremely talented and ready for revenge team was waiting in the wings. It was an epic classic. Would this regional finale send Henrico packing or get them ready for states? Find out straight ahead.
I asked Coach Harmon in my 10th grade, beginning of my 10th grade year, could I wear a headband? And he said, you have to, we can come up with a bet. And I was like, okay, what's the bet? He said, you have to make honor roll at this certain time or point. And I was like, okay, that's fine, I'll do that. And I got it done, so I got to wear a headband. And I actually like wearing a headband because my favorite player is LeBron James. So that's one reason why I wear a headband. But me and Coach Harmon made that bet, and actually our whole team, we take academics very seriously. We have Ryan Pearson, he has like a 4.8, a 4.9, something like that. And Dylan, he has like a 5.1. So our team takes academics very seriously. And Coach Harmon takes it seriously.
Wearing headbands, that
yeah.
Headband means that much. You can make honor roll.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Regional semifinals, game of the year, winner go home, LC Bird, Henrico.
My perspective was, if I was a fan, I would have absolutely loved that ball game. I don't know what the ticket price was. A game of that kind of magnitude, with the talent that was on the floor, you've got potentially, at any one time with 10 players on the floor, probably 8 of them are going to be playing Division I.
LC Bird was in many ways Henrico's equal. They could do one thing that no other team could against the Warriors. That was equal their bench.
That game was just crazy because it just seemed like they were hitting every single shot.
Coach Harmon looked at me and he was like, said big time players, stuff big time games, and that's all they had to say to me.
They have more guys than you can shake a stick at, but the reality is only 5 can play at a time. and our guys rose to the challenge.
Even so, LC Bird had a 6-point lead at the half, a lead that would balloon to 9 on this three-pointer early in the third.
No matter what happens on the court, just leave it all out there and never give up. No matter what the scoreboard says, just keep playing.
I really think there's just something special about our group of guys, our core.
Henrico refused to give in as each team traded blows like a heavyweight fight. The Bird contingency could feel it, up 7 points late, but still Henrico would not fold, and Williams had the game of his life.
I can't tell you, like, basket for basket how I got 37 points, but just throughout the game, because it was a long game, regular time, then 2 overtimes. My teammates just found me. I scored when I had the chance, and I just left it all out on the court.
Each team had a flair for last-second dramatics.
It makes it more exciting for the fans. I think it also attributes to some more hair loss for this guy right here and some more strain and stress, but it just is typical for what our guys do. Really, until the clock has all zeros on it, there is no quit, there's no give up. They come together, they fight, they pull for one another, and they're just not going to accept getting beat.
And when the second overtime began, all square at 94, Henrico finally took over. With 2 overtimes complete, Henrico had survived and advanced and won regionals.
And I sat the region trophy down and I said, gentlemen, we didn't come here tonight for the goal of just winning the region championship. We came here for the goal of moving one step closer to the big prize.
And while regionals was challenging, Henrico put on a show during the state slate. First, Henrico dominated the Freedom Eagles, winning by 26 points. Now Henrico was 1 game away from their second state championship.
The guys will tell you, we believed once we entered the state tournament, the Final Four, and you can ask them to a person, we felt there was only one team that could truly beat us. And who was the one team that could beat us, guys? Ourselves.
The Warriors were not about to let that happen.
We had tough battles with Northview twice. First game, they almost beat us. We came back. But I just tend to look back at the other game to see what got us here. And so we here, and I just think, like, why not finish it?
The Warriors would finish it with style and with arguably the top play from the state tournament run.
One thing I remember is probably Walter's dunk because I was on the floor at that point, and I just remember when he caught the ball, I was just thinking, like, what is he gonna do?
Long pass up to Williams. Oh! The nasty dunk. Oh my goodness.
And then I saw him do that, and that was probably one of the craziest moments because I just felt like that was the best game I've ever played in my life.
Henrico's dream season would be completed, 28-1, and 2014-2015 state champions.
I really think that there's just something special about, just having a group of guys that all believe in each other, and they don't care who gets the credit at the end of the day because we know that winning is the most important thing.
I've always wanted to do it. I saw it happen, and I was really excited then, but it was nothing compared to how it felt to actually have been a part of it. And it's really hard to explain sometimes. It's just a bunch of emotions that it just happens.
We just stuck together, came together when we was down, facing adversity, just played together as a team.
From this team, I take away the leadership that the seniors brought to us, how hard they worked over the summer to get where they were. They started out with the goal to win states, win it all, and that's what I take, their work ethic and their leadership qualities.
Biggest moment, the LC Bird game. All the packed crowd. It was just a great experience.
It was an incredible feeling to know that me and my team, we would just work so hard throughout all the snow days to where we didn't have a gym. We just all the hard work just paid off.
No word can describe how it felt, because it's always been a dream to win. So winning that in particular is just a blessing.
The state championship game, just seeing how hard work pays off in the long run, how we all the games like the Bird games and everyone's going to think about those, but then the state championship game, it just was be able to play our game, have fun, and come out victorious and win a ring. So that just is exciting, and it just showed us how if you keep working hard, you'll get what you want.
When Watson did that dunk at 5A state championship on a fast break by himself, I didn't expect that. The LC Bird game, big game, intense, really intense. How we came together and played together, and those two overtime, double quarters.
The comeback game against Northview, down at Virginia Western, we were down by 19, I think. And we all came together and the seniors led us down the road to that W.
It's a great feeling because it's a state championship. Many people don't get to make it here.
I would take away the competitiveness, the grind, the grit, the will to not lose.
We are a dynasty, and upcoming years, we have a nice set of guys that's coming up, so we'll be a nice team coming up next year.
We always find a way to win. No matter what, we find a way to win.
This dynasty has been outstanding, and I love that I chose to come to Henrico High School and play for Coach Harmon. He's the best coach I've ever played for.
There are not many groups that have that it factor. This group had that it factor that you just can't define.
Congratulations to the Henrico Warriors. They are your 2015 state champions.